Hello, Macon, Bibb. I'm at 478 TV. My name is Marc Whitfield. I'm a candidate for mayor of Macon, Bibb 2020. And I look forward to being your next mayor.
All right, we're sitting down with Marc Whitfield. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate, you definitely taking some time to sit down with us, giving us some of your time.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, right now we're with our future mayor, in Macon, Bibb. Kind of, talk to us a little bit about it, talk to us about, the journey, you know what I'm saying, how you got to this point right now.
All right, well, born and raised in Macon. Right now we at 669 Poppy Avenue, Unionville. My grandparents moved here in 1922 across the street, 642 Poppy Avenue, and that's where I was raised my entire life, and still go there today. I'm going across the street when I finish here. And I love Macon. I love all of Macon actually, but my father was born and raised in Pleasant Hill. So for the Central Chargers out there, I can. My journey began right in Unionville. I was born and raised in Macon. And my mother was born in Unionville, raised in Unionville, right across the street from my campaign office. My campaign address is 669 Poppy Avenue, but I was raised 642 Poppy Avenue, right across the street. So I'm Unionville, born and bred. I'm a father from Pleasant Hill, born and raised, and so I have a heart for both Pleasant Hill and Unionville. That's where my blood comes from, and I just have a heart, for those two communities. But I have love for all of Macon, and so grew up, with that camaraderie. When I was coming up, there wasn't, the violence. Mm-hmm. We had more sports, competition more than anything dealing with violence. Mm-hmm. Life was fun growing up, mm-hmm. For me. Mm-hmm. That's, what I really want to see, us return to with respect to how we get along together as a community. But with respect to my upbringing, I'm a little different. I was born in Unionville, but I was raised Catholic. Mm-hmm. So my grandmother didn't appreciate that. Mm-hmm. She was Baptist, mm-hmm. and when we, started going to the Catholic church, that hurt her. Hurt her deep. Yeah. So whenever I go to a black church, I don't know any songs. Yeah. So we, when they start singing, I'm like, I gotta pretend, I gotta watch somebody else is singing, because I don't know. Yeah. But that's just part of, the unique experience of, growing up, going to a Catholic school and growing up Catholic, mm-hmm. in Unionville, mm-hmm. So never left Unionville. Always had tremendous love for Unionville. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Pleasant Hill. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time growing up in Bloomfield. Mm-hmm. That's where we spent majority of my teenage years. Mm-hmm. And so I know the Bloomfield community. Mm-hmm. And for the East Side, mm-hmm. I didn't spend a lot of time on the East Side growing up, mm-hmm. but I had a lot of friends who went to Northeast, mm-hmm. and so it hurts me to see how the East Side has been neglected, mm-hmm. And the South Side. Mm-hmm. But the East Side has been neglected for a very long time, and that's even when I was young, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What's one of the most unique things about Macon to you?
Oh man, Macon has so many things. Mm-hmm. Music, mm-hmm. And athletes. I think those two things, we just have God-given talent when it comes to creativity and athleticism. Mm-hmm. You know, I think those two things. And we have a lot of smart people who, you know, come from Macon. They've done some incredible things. We have, you know, someone who's an author, you know, I went to the Southwest with, and we have, you know, of course, athletes have been successful, but we have successful business people as well. So the music, though, is what stands out. You know, Little Richard, James Brown, Otis Redding, and you have a lot of families, you know, Allman Brothers. But there are a lot of musicians here, you know, who I don't know by name, but I do know by talent. And so the talent is just tremendous in Macon. So I would say that, you know, those two things stand out. The creativity with music and the athleticism. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take it back a little bit. You know, I want to, you know, go in a little bit about your memories growing up in Macon. You know, so what do you remember about your parents growing up?
Well, I do remember family was everything. That's what I remember most. Either the family picnics, you know, we went to High Falls, we went to Lake Tobesaki, but the most fun we had was when we had the picnics with other family members. We didn't see that often. Mainly on Pleasant Hill. We used to have friends over there. They would have this hog. They would put in this big pit.
Okay. And
that was almost every summer. There was a big barbecue. You know. When I was growing up, we had something called the May Festival, which was done by St. Peter's Playwood Church, but the whole city looked forward to that May Festival every year. I mean, black and white. Just that one day that we came together as a community to have fun and raise money, you know, for the church. And that went toward the community as well.
Okay. What do you remember? Do you have any siblings?
I have 3. I have 2 brothers and a sister.
And where do you fall?
I'm the eldest.
Okay.
So I was born first.
Okay. So talk about, you know, being the oldest sibling growing up.
Well, it's rough because you're the babysitter. You are responsible for everything they do when you're the babysitter. You can't do what you want to do because you're the babysitter. When you get older, you become the bank.
Yeah.
So now you got to loan them money, and it's a gift because you ain't getting it back.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you know, you get to be that person they look up to for advice. You can help them with, you know, some of those milestones. So, you know, my brothers, they went to prom, you know, I helped them with the money, you know, to go to their prom. I remember being in college, my brother said, I'm not gonna be able to go to prom. So I said, how much do you need? You know, and I sent him that, and he sent me, you know, the prom pictures, and I'm like, I was glad I was able to do that, you know. Other than that, you know, it's pressure on you because you're the first to go out to set the example, you know, so you have to, you know, they want everybody to go to college, and you have to go to college first, and you have to be the one to make that happen, make that achievement. So there were, you know, good things and there were pressures, but you know, being the eldest, you know, for the most, it's been okay. You know, like I say, you have your ups and downs with your disappointments, and you thought they could make better decisions, especially with your money. But as you see them get older and they begin to become wiser and have their own families, you know, it's rewarding.
Growing up, you know, what were some of the memories, you know, that you had growing up in Macon with your family and the community?
Well, like I said, the big one was at May Festival, you know, every year. That's where we went as a family every year. And as far as I can remember, I think ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old, all the way up to when I graduated high school, I was going there, you know, with my friends, and that continued on for years. But the other thing is that just going to church every Sunday, going to the athletic events, because back then softball for the churches and basketball, that was big.
Yeah.
You know, of course, your footballs on Friday night and your Pee Wee leagues on Saturdays, baseball. You know, it just basketball. It was a community thing.
Yeah.
You know? So that was something that I don't see now.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I did, but I want to bring that back. You know, I want that to come back, and I think having the family involved in that one activity, supporting, you know, that one particular family member at that moment, I think those are memories, and it helps build, you know, family memories and family relationships.